set up, camera set up. See here, yes, and then look, look. It's kind of cool. All right, I'll stop fangirling. Um, I may still have some more. Ooh, it's got some color in it. I didn't clean this brush very well last time. What I'm doing today is I'm back playing with my blues, and I thought that I would do a little bit of kind of a tree ring kind of situation here. It's an idea I have in my head that I'm not sure I have an exact description of. I'm in my 9x12 Arteza watercolor book. It's not super great watercolor paper, people, but you know, we're just playing. We're just playing. So let me switch here and show you what. So I'm going to do a lot of. It's a glazing, which I've done before. Oh Lord, it's a little too much. Oh, and then I dribbled. I'm not used to using big brushes like this, so my apologies in advance, because this is quite the experiment for me today. I've got this idea in my head, and I wanted to see how this would do. Because I don't want these little, well, alright, well, this is just day one, trial one. Went off the reservation already. Who cares? Who cares? And it's going to need some drying in between. But I'm trying to lay down just a kind of a really pale but even layer all the way across. We'll give it a few minutes to dry. This is a really big oval mop by Princeton. I also have this 1-inch guy here. Forget which camera I'm on. I just used a really big 1-inch oval mop. And I have this one at the ready, so just in case, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But alright, there's layer one. It's curling up like crazy. Let's let it dry. And I'm truly trying to keep this the same consistency, thinness, whatever the word is I want to use, you know, to make this, the glazing part is the key, I think, to all this. It's not the strength of the pigment. The pigment will take over in time. This big mop brush is going to help just cover it without it drying on us too fast too. Hopefully. I've had to use some bowl clips because there's a lot of water going down in these layers. And just does better when you got a little bowl clip encouraging it to do the right thing. Okay, layer 2. It's very egg like this shape, but that's fine. These bowl clips are definitely helping out because there's so much moisture on this paper, and I don't know how well this paper is going to do because this is not 100% cotton. This may be a futile experiment, but we'll find out. And that is layer 3. Layer 4. Been a little bit of time, so I had to re-wet this palette here a little bit. I don't think that's all that unusual. And I know I said in the previous layer this is cellulose, but I don't want these to be super, which means I don't want to go crazy with a lot of water, but I also don't want this to all be super uniform either. I want there to be some, you know, see I got real close there and then a little bit wider down here, and I want there to be some organicness. Is that a word? Organicness? I don't know. To this piece. It's not just these perfect little circles inside of circles. So part of the reason why I waited a little bit too is to let it dry a bit more, to help keep the paper integrity, you know, as much as possible, if that's possible, to give the see how I've got this, like the little edges there. But we'll see. Next layer done, layer 4. So layer 5, we're back with layer 5, and really liking some of these lines here. It's just fun. And the paper's holding up okay, so this has been a good test. I mean, we're not done by any means, but let's see. And I'm just doing this rather intuitively. I'm not really focusing on, you know, where the brush is going to go, other than I'm just staying inside of the line, of course. But I'm holding it rather loosely, intentionally, because I just want it to be as organic as possible. I don't think I started off that way as much as I would have liked, but I think I felt a little stiff when I was supposed to paint that first circle, but that's, you know, it's part of it. Okay, there's another layer, and we'll be back again after it dries. 6, and here we go. Getting a little nervous about all these layers, but let's do it. May have overshot the mark there, but that's the way it goes, right? Yep, that's the way it goes. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. All right, let's do 7. There's a bit of granulation happening, I'm noticing, and that's probably the cobalt turquoise that's in my blue soup over here. But yeah, we're just letting it happen. We don't really care too much about that. We're just playing around with, not the idea, but just we're practicing this. Look, I just left the line right there and did not mean to do that. See if I can scrub it out. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Each layer gets successively smaller and easier to do. Looks good. All right, back in a bit. We're getting down to the last couple of circles here, although I still haven't decided how far in I'm going to take this. And at some point I may want to change the size of my brush. I don't know. For the moment it's working. These are going much faster now, aren't they? Yep, they are. Back in a sec. I'm going to bring this camera down. I should have done this before I started it, because I don't, oh, maybe I'm not. Got a new rig, a new setup. Oh, crunch. I have a new setup now, and I'm still getting used to the new dealio. I don't want to make you sick. Alright, hopefully that'll work better. Now let's, now I wonder if I screwed that camera up. Nope, it's still good. Okay, sorry. Technical moment. Now let's, funny little inner ring formed here. I don't know if you can see that very well. A little bit. But I'm going to ignore it because that's just happened by, I don't know, happy accident, I suppose. But I'm going to just keep going in the same manner I've gone, which is kind of a, and now I'm going to get a little, should have gotten a little wonkier with my lines. blend. Okay. Love it. Don't. See, this is where I'm going to struggle. I don't want to fiddle with it too much. No fiddling. Yep, that side view is not as good anymore. Alright, well anyway. Okay, let that one dry and back in a sec. Let's do another layer. I didn't necessarily mean this to be a darker layer, but it feels like it might be a little. Definitely getting those, feels like tree rings, like blue tree rings. Okay, back in a minute. A nice little puddle formed here, dark spot. I'm really kind of digging that. But let's see, I'm not entirely sure how many more layers I'm going to do, but if I'm going to change a brush at some point or not is also less certain. I'm going to kind of see if I can make another, I don't know if I want another puddle to form or if I just want to keep doing what I've been doing. Kind of deciding on the fly here. Okay. Hardest part's waiting for the layers to dry. Back in a sec. The paper is warped. I mean, I know the paper is warped. And it's created a dimple in the paper, and then so any water that I put on here is, instead of self-leveling, it's ending up, you know, pooling right there to create that little, and I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it in a way, but we're getting to the end here. I think we're getting real close to the, I'm going to try to use a little bit less water this time just to see if we can, and this paper's held up really well. I didn't finish that sentence. To see if we can, a little less water, just to see if we can get this to dry a little faster and not puddle anywhere. Of course, here I am dabbing on more water and pigment, but you know, do as I say, not as I do, right? I'm not sure how many more layers I want to go. I mean, that might be the end. I don't know. I'm going to let this dry and then come back and decide, but yeah, that's the you can see how much water's on there when I tip it, see what it does there. Of course, the opposite's true there too. So, yeah, I think that might be the last layer, but I'm going to let it dry. Maybe I do one more. I mean, we don't have to go and add infinity here. Alright, back in a few. Well, for you, a sec. It's really dried with a very serious divot here. And I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller brush. This is a filbert. And see if I can just, I don't know if I can, this is going to make any difference at all. I'm going to try to put as very little water on here as I can. I should have been using filbert for the last couple layers, but you know, live and learn, right? Yeah, that's going to be the last layer. I don't think I want to do any more. And I will, you know, of course, let this dry down, and then that will do it for this little blue tree ring. I think next time I do this, I'm going to probably not go quite as far to the edges. And maybe not use granulating. I don't know, but the granulating is kind of fun. It's kind of interesting. I just don't like the puddles that form, and that's partly because of the paper. But the paper performed pretty well overall, I have to say, despite the fact that it's not great paper. It did work, but that's okay. I'm not unhappy. What it didn't do, and I was worried, is it didn't pill or start to lose its integrity. Oh, look at the back. No, the back is fine. So I was worried with all this water and all these layers that we would lose some of the integrity of the paper, but it seems to be great. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you again soon. Bye.